Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the AM Silver Bullet on Monday, October 30th. So right now we're looking at the 1 hour chart, and I want to take you over to right here. This is where we're at right here, 8 o'clock, and we're going to play 1 hour here. We're at 9 o'clock, and what did price do right here? It rejected from what? It took out these highs, these relatively equal highs right here. Let me just mark those on here. Right here, took those out, right? But then it came up, what do you call this? I'd call that an order block, okay? And it stopped pretty close to mean threshold. That's the dotted line there, the order block. But look how it went to the tick to the order block, like it just right there, right? When I see this and it goes into a higher time frame PD array and pulls back, then I'm going to drop down and look for a market maker sell model, right? So let's drop down to the 1 minute time frame, and let's just get this a little bit. There's that line where the equal highs that it took. Okay. All right. So there you go. There's the 1 hour order block is blue. Okay. And it stopped right here, close to the mean threshold. So now let's turn on our Kraken Silver Bullet indicator, and let's mark some things. Right. Let's see where we're at. Let's see if we have where's Asia at? Asia's been taken, so Asia's not a factor. Turn on London. All right, London high, London low has not been taken. All right, so let's leave London low on. Let's remove the high because it's been taken. Let's look at the AM session. Let's look at the Killzone session here. Killzone would be, it's not 10 o'clock yet, so this would be yesterday's Killzone, which is right here, which is in line with that line that we took, right? So we just took the New York Killzone, which we'll say buy side taken, because as soon as I have this Killzone, it's going to change over. So I'm going to mark this line, buy side liquidity taken. That's where it was. We took the AM buy side liquidity out right here. So we took that out as well. So I'm going to show you that right here. It stops here. This starts from 9:30 on. So this is yesterday's. I'll show you it hasn't been taken. So here's yesterday's, the green line. Okay. So we just taken sell side into a higher time frame PD array. All right. So let's see what we have down here. So buy side's taken. We have our London low here already, and the Killzone low is here. It's been taken, but it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna change over right when we go to 10 o'clock. So to this new low. So we'll leave that because it hasn't been taken yet. So let's go candle by candle. Let's see what we get here. Obviously, I'm looking for a change in market structure here. Obviously, you have this here. You do have a change in the state of delivery right here. That is, what's changed in the state of delivery? Well, the order block, the open price of the order block, once that gets traded through, that's your change in the state of delivery. You can look it up. That's what the change in state of delivery is per ICT. So if that opening price of the order block is a change in state of delivery, this fair value gap here, right here, that's traded into, if that got traded into, we could take that trade. Now, it would be, I'd consider this a low risk sell if it came in, because you're only risking, just a little bit. You're risking, 3 points. But we'd want to see a break of market structure here, which we get, technically, right there. So you do get a market structure shift. If it comes back in here, I would look at that for a low risk sell. Okay. Now I'm not going to sell one here because it's way down here. It's 4 handles up higher is where we'd be taking it. So, but to me, that would be the low risk sell right there. I would short there, and you could go there. And where am I going to? Well, I'm going to the New York Killzone low, these lows right here. Okay. Now, for a market maker sell model, we can pull our fib from the high to the low of the manipulation leg for the sell model. So let's do that from the high to the swing low that took liquidity. So there's your manipulation leg. And let's see, 2.5's here. Let's like this. And 4 is here. 2.5 is not there. This is where the kill zone's at. It's kind of in between the two. I'm going to go with this low. Obviously, when we take out the kill zone high, which we're not, we're actually at the kill zone high, but we took out yesterday's kill zone high and AM buy side and into a 1 hour order block, and now we're going down. First target for me would be the New York kill zone. Second target would be London low. But we expect 2 to 2.5 here range. There's nothing really here that's going to stop this. So you could 830 line, you could go there, would be a target. You could target here instead, which is probably safer. I like the New York kill zone. All right, so I didn't enter here based on buying selling because it's way down here, but that's where I would have entered. And this does not mean it's going to end right here. It's just there's other things I want to show you on the chart. So let's go. So now we're looking for first stage of distribution. Okay, so there's an order block there. I'd like to see it price come up, maybe tap into that order block. All right, so I'm going to sell one there. That's close enough to the order block. So we're going to call that the first stage of distribution. Sell there. Short that right there. Still aiming for the New York kill zone. There's your second entry. Of course, you could have got in here. This would be your second entry. Leaving behind a fair value gap right here. Let's name that fair value gap. There's another fair value gap right there. But what do we got here? We also have a mitigation block right here. High, low, lower high, and then trades through it. So trade back up into it, that's a mitigation block. A breaker block is a high, a low, a higher high, and then it trades through it and then back up into it. That's a breaker. So the only difference between a mitigation block and a breaker block is this is a failed swing, basically. The other one takes out the other swing. Okay, so for me, this would be another entry right here. We could sell another contract there. This would be the second stage of distribution. I could sell one there, and you can aim for the New York kill zone low as well. Okay. So trades up into the mitigation block, into the fair value gap, and then into just the bottom of that fair value gap. It doesn't even go into it, it just stops right there. 3 PD arrays right there, basically. Not sure if that would have taken you out or not, depending on your broker or how it would have, if it would have triggered you in or not, or triggered it or not. So I'm just waiting for an actual breakthrough like that broke through. Okay, so I'll flatten right there. Why am I flattening here over there? Because that's just way too much to loss. I already took a loss on my entries where it really was, so this kind of makes up for some of those. So that's there, and let's see how the rest of the week of this plans out. Let's just take our contracts right off there. We're taking us off there. We got out right there. Same, almost same kind of thing. See if it takes out the London low. Like I said, first target was New York Killzone. I want to see if it takes out the London low as well. And it does right there. Immediately rejects the London low. Immediately rejects. All right, let's take off the positions and let's go through this. All right, we started on the 1 hour chart and we saw that price came up into right in here and started rejecting from a 1 hour order block, right? We pulled our kill zones and we noticed that it took out the New York kill zone from yesterday. It took off AM buy side liquidity over here as well from yesterday and starting to reject from a 1 hour order block. So we marked our change in the state of delivery right here, which is the opening price of the order block. And then we had a market structure shift and we had our low risk sell right here, which is a fair value gap. We didn't enter because based on trading view, we would have been, 4 or 5 handles lower. Didn't want to do that. So then we had a traded down. We had marked out an order block here. We came up, and when it tagged us into that order block, that was our first stage of distribution. We took our sell there. We did pull our fib from the manipulation leg here, which is the high, to the swing low that took liquidity, which is the manipulation leg. And we got 2.5 standard deviations here and 4 down here. Well, in between these two was the New York kill zone low, okay? And that was where my target was. It was in between there, there really wasn't anything besides this right here and the 830 opening price that was lower than that. So this was probably around 3 deviations, which would have been a good target. It did kind of stall here for a little bit, but we're so close to this liquidity, I was really targeting that liquidity. That's ideally what I'd like to see. Could have been wrong, absolutely, but that's what I was really shooting for. Now, there was London low down here, and it actually did take out the London low here. That would have been your second hanging fruit. I don't know if hanging fruit's the right word, but that was your second target for sure. I mentioned that before here. So then after our first stage, price came down, left behind a fair value gap, left behind another fair value gap, and then we marked out a mitigation block, right? And so we traded up into the mitigation block. We took our trade, next candle, was in the mitigation block, hit the first fair value gap into the second one, and then started trading down. We ended up hitting our initial target of the New York kill zone low, and then eventually it hit the London low as took out that as well, and then immediately rejected. Okay, so those are your 3 silver bullet entries during this hour. The second stage of distribution is your original silver bullet entry, but for the silver bullet hour, the time frame, these are the 3 trades you could have taken with a draw liquidity of New York kill zone. All right, we did this using the Kraken silver bullet indicator, and you can find out information about that in the description of this video.